other thing.
No, men are stronger, men are faster, we all get that, but I think it sort of belittles what women do on the tennis court. I think that's why people are upset.
Let's talk about Serena Williams.
Best female player ever, no question.
Some would say she's the best player in the world. Why qualify it?
Oh, she's not, you mean the best player in the world, period?
Yeah, best tennis player in the world. You know, why say female player?
Well, because if she played the men's circuit, she'd be like 700 in the world.
What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into the video.
You cannot be serious. That ball was on the line. Shaw flew up. It was clearly in.
John McEnroe's fiery outburst on the tennis court earned him a reputation as one of the most iconic and controversial athletes in history. The Hall of Famer won 7 Grand Slam singles titles. He spent 170 weeks as the sport's top player.
That's 3 years
Since
of
leaving
domination.
the tour in 1992, McEnroe has become an outspoken tennis commentator. He's pursued a variety of jobs and interests off the court, from TV host to art collector. He discusses his struggle to reinvent himself after retirement and his thoughts on the game today in this new book. But seriously, he joins us at the table. Good morning. Welcome.
Good to see you.
What's new?
Always.
All right,
What's going on?
Let's just start with the elephant in the room.
That's right.
Why was it necessary for you to say that anybody, Serena, couldn't beat the 700th player on the men's circuit?
As you know well enough, Charlie, respect Serena very much so, okay? And I was simply calling her on an NPR, which supposedly you're supposed, this is where you can say it like it is and you're going to get honest feedback. She's the greatest female player that ever lived. Then the lady said to me, I don't remember which one, but she said, why did you say woman? Why don't you just say the greatest, tennis player that ever lived? And so then I felt the need, however, unfortunately, I'm probably to defend myself. I don't know, just say what I really felt. I mean, which is about what I think she would be. I think you're referring to the fact that I said she'd be about 700 in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got a solution, Gail, though, because I know that you're friendly with Serena, and I think at least until yesterday,
the table right now.
I'm just waiting.
can't
Would you
wait.
like to apologize?
No. But
I'm waiting for what you're gonna offer.
the offer
Why would
is
he
this,
apologize?
is because it seems in tennis, unlike other sports, that they're always asking about how women, they always ask me how I would do for someone. Why isn't this old bag John McEnroe, how would he do against Serena? Why don't you combine, just solve the problem? I'm sure the men would be all for this. The men and women play together. And then we don't have to guess.
But John,
Well, it's because the women would get absolutely destroyed. The women wouldn't stand a damn chance if that happened. And everybody in the room knows it, but we have to play this game. This man dominated the world in tennis. He was #1 in the world in tennis for 3 years straight. So he's very educated on the topic. And when asked in an interview, he's an older man too, so he ain't gonna know certain things aren't PC. He ain't gonna know that. So he's gonna answer the question honestly. If somebody asks, how do you think Serena Williams is gonna do against a bunch of men? He says, look, she'd probably be around 700. That's just his honest opinion as a person that's dominated the world for 3 years, and they expect this man to come on here and lie. This is what happens when women compete against men.
Motion!
The guy ran at 50 yards. Get him.
Forming round that bend, trying to close the gap. Javon Francis is in third place. And look at the speed with which Cherry takes. Svite Josic is going to get caught here, but can she hang on for a medal? The inaugural champions. It will also mean Allyson Felix moves to 12 world titles.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Well, this we know for sure.
40, 50.
Yeah, that's the one I'm waiting for.
And then people will try to tell us that there's no biological difference between men and women. This is all about keeping that ridiculous idea that there's no difference between men and women. Sorry, people. There's a huge difference, especially biologically. There's a huge difference between men and women. Not only biologically, also hormonally. That's why women have periods. And of course, you're going to go to that 1% of women. Well, what if a woman doesn't have a period? 1% of women don't. Yeah, okay. 1% of men also don't have penises. I'm sure they got, whatever might have happened to them. So 1%, that doesn't equate for the majority. The vast majority of women have periods. That's hormonal. Men have more testosterone. That's hormonal. The reason why women who want to transfer to men or want to transition into being a man, they take hormones because there are innate differences, not only biologically, but also hormonally between men and women. Like, why do we keep lying about this thing? What is the agenda that makes it so we have major news broadcasts trying to lie? Why are we being lied to openly? Like, that makes no sense to me. Let's continue the video.
You didn't answer Charlie's question. You really should. You really do need to answer Charlie's question.
What was it? I didn't. You're right. I wasn't paying attention.
Necessary to do this.
Yes.
It wasn't necessary. It was not necessary.
You knew it would create.
I didn't know it would create.
You
controversy.
didn't?
No.
Why would that
Has
create
anybody ever-
controversy?
I said
It's the
this
truth.
Did Bobby Riggs mean
Charlie.
anything to you?
That don't make no sense.
What do you think, Charlie? You're a tennis guy. You like to play tennis.
I
I
do.
see you on the tennis court.
Right.
What do you think that Serena Williams would be ranked if she played in the men's
I have
game?
no
Yeah,
idea.
Charlie.
Well, if you had a guess,
Well, she seemed pretty strong to me. I mean,
very strong, the
but-
greatest female player ever.
Okay, we can't. Nobody can prove this. Here's what she said, though. Just,
Yes.
Dear John,
And that's what we like to call answering like a politician. This man he wants that clean image. And he understands, because he's in this business, that if he says certain things, he's going to upset half of the US. So instead of telling the truth, he's going to pander by not answering the question that he already knows the answer to. Everybody in this room is reasonable enough to know the answer to that question. The women would be dominated, but yet they're all sitting there lying because they don't want to hurt their feelings.
that's a nice way to start.
Yeah.
I adore and respect you, but please, please keep me out of your statements if they are not factually based. Or that or not. She said they're not factually based.
Serena's, has a way with words. I've been in the room 5 different times with 5 of my kids were born. I don't want anything to go wrong with Serena because she's pregnant. I don't want to upset her or whatever it was. I think she was doing it tongue in cheek as well. And I think that deep down, we're talking
That's
about something.
ridiculous to me.
I can't even believe we're talking about it. But
John.
nonetheless, if you
John.
want to keep talking about it, I'd be
do
more
want
than
keep
happy
talking
to.
about it. I do. I actually do, because I think everybody knows.
And another thing.
No, men are stronger, men are faster, we all get that, but I think it sort of belittles what women do on the tennis court. I think that's why people are upset. And the fact that you ranked her 700. So my question to you is, she won.
So they just admitted to knowing that men are bigger, faster, and stronger, but, it just kind of downplays some of it's the truth. So they literally just admitted out of their mouths that they know for a fact that he's telling the truth, but he should lie to make people feel good about the situation. They just admitted that. Literally word for word, they just admitted that. Absolutely. People just, oh, man. Dang, man. People have to really understand the importance of how, you got to understand how dangerous it is to lie to people just so they feel good. That is dangerous. To start ignoring the truth just to make people feel better. That is dangerous. Now we're living in a world where it doesn't matter what you say. It only matters how people feel about what you say. Imagine that. Imagine me saying something with great intent to help somebody. Hey, you're a little big. Sis. Hey, little sister, you a little big now. Let's. You need some help? I can get you in the gym. I can get you a workout plan. And that being seen as offensive because she made what it is. She just felt like that was offensive. I can't control how you feel. I can only control my own intentions. That is so dangerous, man. And we just lollygagging, just walking down this. We see it coming. We see it happening. But ain't nobody doing nothing about it. That's insane to me. That is crazy. We're now admitting on national television that we prefer feelings over the truth. How are we ever going to get anything done if we're worrying about how everybody feels all the time? The most important conversations are the ones that are going to offend people. Those are the ones we need to have the most, so we can get conclusions to problems. We can't get conclusions to problems if we can't have the conversation, because every time we talk about subjects, people are crying. How are we supposed to have a... Let's get back to the video.
Australia, weeks pregnant. You ranked her at 700 on the men's. Where would you rank yourself?
Myself would
Yeah, where would
be...
you put yourself?
Now, are you asking me at 58 years of age, would I be ranked in the tour if I had to play best of 5?
Yeah.
Which is what the men have to do at majors?
Yes.
I would be currently about 1,200 in the world.
I mean, it's
I have a
He's an
tennis
old
academy
man,
at
like,
Randall's Island.
that's
where
reasonable.
I lose the kids that are 16 or 17. High school kids, and I would lose. There's pros I have 37 pros, Gail, at my club. 6 or 7 of whom on a bad day I would lose to.
Okay.
And we could go on and on. And I was the former #1 player in the
John,
world.
what do you say to this? People just say, look, John McEnroe's trying to get publicity for his book. That's all this
Well,
is. He secretly wants
but
to
not this
play
way.
Serena. He secretly
I
wants
never
to play
wanted. I
Serena.
never wanted to play Serena. People always ask me about playing Serena. Did they ask Roger Federer about playing?
Okay,
her?
so let me. Who's the greatest player today?
Roger is.
Roger is.
Roger's the greatest, and Rafa. I mean, they've both had renaissances. One won the Australian, the other French. It's incredible. I mean, I look at these guys. I mean, I admire Roger, but the way he's done it, how much he loves it's what I really respect.
But in terms of the history of tennis, is it Rod Laver or is it Roger or is it someone?
Well, my rankings would be Roger, Rafa, close second. Rod Laver was my idol. Then I throw Pete Sampras in. He's the greatest fast court player. Serena Williams at 5. And number 6, Novak Djokovic. Okay, you happy now?
Yes, I'm happy.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Serena, have a great time with the baby.
Because there really is no need to compare men and women. I think that's the point that we're all...
Well, how can we always do it then in tennis and not other sports? Go call the athletes in the other sports and ask them how they would do, or boxer.
Like the WNBA and the NBA.
Well, exactly, or whatever sport you want to choose. But for some reason, damn that Bobby Riggs in 19 when he played Billie Jean King, and he threw the match. But no, I'm kidding.
If you had...
Is that troubling to anybody? Does anybody see anything wrong with that? The fact that this man was going against a whole panel of people and stood his ground, telling the truth, and then the video cuts, and when he comes back onto the television, he's saying, oh, Serena's now in my top 5. Does that make you guys feel better? To me, it sounds like when the camera went off, they said, hey, come here. You can't say what you're saying. You're not allowed to say the truth. You have to, you got to say what we want you to say so you can sell your book. That's what it seems like to me. You got to lie to these people to sell your book. I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going. As a civilization, as a society, as a country, it's going to be very hard to beat a country like China that doesn't care about any of this stuff when we're sitting over here crying about obvious biological differences. Sure, truth should also be questioned. I get that. The truth should also be questioned. For a while, it was the truth that what black people were inferior because of the difference in the size of their skull or whatever it may have been. That was truth for a little bit. So the truth should also be questioned. The truth should be questioned, but it should be questioned with facts, not feelings. The thing about freedom of speech is it combats against dogma. So when somebody says black people are inferior because their skulls are smaller, or whatever it may be because of the shape of their skulls, somebody else with new research and data can go, you're absolutely ridiculous because we have this new research and data that says otherwise. But if we can't have those conversations, we never could combat that dogma. This ridiculous idea that men and women are the same. We don't have to be the same to be equals. Your role, a man's role is different than a woman's role. Cool. 2 + 2 = 4. 3 + 1 also equals 4. We don't have to be the same to be equal. We don't have to be. This is insane to me, man. Like, till next time.